this couple, George and Mark, Mom and Dad, have done 50 years ago. It all began. And it just continues. We are here to recall a wonderful event, and not just to recall, but to attest and to sanctify this happening, which continues to bless us all. The ways of God run so counter to the ways of the world. For instance, we hear from the Scriptures, unless you lose yourself, you will not gain yourself. He who takes the last place is the greatest. Unless you become like this little child, you shall not enter the kingdom of heaven. Unless the grain of wheat die, it shall not bear fruit. The two shall become one. Each one of us has special memories because of this couple who took our Lord at his word, who were willing to, against the world, how the world is always tearing things apart. And yet, when we think this is the same world that in the beginning God created all things, and he created them and saw that they were very good, and it was on his creation of man and woman that he was able to say that, and that was the final part of creation, in the creating of man and woman to rule over, to sanctify, to make holy all things that they were to rule over and to be guides of all things. So, with a marriage like this, something that in the beginning of a marriage, you leave your parents and you join yourselves with one another, and it's a wonderful thing, but at the time, you don't know all that is to be ahead for you. And we know, too, it's only through the difficulties that we grow. Often when we want everything to go perfectly, and it doesn't, we might get upset. We might feel, well, the whole thing is ruined. And that's not the way God works. God is able to raise up the small little things and make them great. He's able to raise that little child up to an adult. And yet at the same time, he says to each little child, each adult, unless you become like little children. So we learn so much in family life. Often people have said to me, I'm hearing about my family, hearing about my parents. What did they do to keep the faith alive in all of them? And I always just say, by living the faith. The closest my father ever would get to forcing us to have to go to Mass would be the car leaves in 5 minutes, and it's a long walk. So we learn by example, and we only had great examples in our two parents. And they did everything first before us to teach us. They taught us how to work, to enjoy each other, and not to let the moments slip by. And often we know what would take place if my mother was to do the wrong thing. She'd hear about it, and so would we, and yet it didn't hurt. It only brought memories of these great things. God is so good that he has blessed us with so much, and has blessed us with wonderful friends different spouses that our brothers and sisters have chosen, have been called by God to be with. We see how good God is to bring others into our family and how we want others to be part of the family that we have. And it's only through the grace of God and the sacraments and the love that comes to us through the sacraments and our God that we're able to sanctify this life. And it's in this life that we make it. It's here. So we can't look at this life as a terrible thing or that it's not good enough. But it's owning up and being worthy, trying to be worthy of the graces that God has given us, the gifts that God has poured upon us, and following the example of this couple, that all of us are able to see generosity of God, the love of God, all that God has in store for us, to take us to the future. So as we continue this Mass, we'll be with this couple as they confess their vows again. Continue vows.